Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to Guitar Chat. One more week here. We are back from vacation. You can see my shirt here. Yeah, we've been doing this for a while now. We started, I don't know, I think around March, something like that. And we keep doing this every Thursday, one week in Spanish, the other week in English. Today is the English time, so very, very happy to be here. I'm very, very thrilled with the guest that we have today. And of course, as I say every day, uh, Guitar Chat is brought to you by Vegatrem, of course, the best tremolo systems in the market for sure. And if you like this content, if you have fun, listening to us, uh, just subscribe. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be updated about our new live performances or our new videos. But not only because of that, you can also enter to a giveaway that we do every month. Every month we give away one completely free Vegatrem, which is great. And the only thing you have to do is to be subscribed to our YouTube channel and to leave a comment in either one of our videos. Those are the only two things you have to do to be able to enter to the giveaway. Last month we did it, so we're gonna say the number of the winner next Monday on our social media outlets. Okay, so check Instagram, Facebook. Whenever you follow us, we're gonna reveal the name of the winner. Also, apart from that, we are also giving some discounts as well in case you want to go to our website and buy a Vegatrem at a discount. And I'm gonna say the discount during this interview, so stay tuned because it can be in any moment. Okay, so it's cool because that way you can buy as many tremolos as you want for a 10% discount, which is amazing as well. So without further ado, I'm gonna talk about today's guest. This week on Guitar Chat, we have one of the most fierce guitar players in Europe, well, I would say in the world. Simon McBride is an Irishman, rightful heir to legends like Rory Gallagher or Gary Moore. He has proved his quality as a performer, touring with Ian Gillan, also writing and recording for Don Airey's latest record. He was recently signed to Europe rock leading label Ear Music, home of Alice Cooper, All Dimeola, Deep Purple, Foreigner, Marillion, and many more. He has his own career as a solo artist and band leader, and he has opened in the UK and Ireland for Jeff Beck, Joe Bonamassa, and the Slide Master Derek Trucks. He's a long-time endorser of PRS guitars and personal pick of Paul Red Smith. So welcome, Mr. Simon McBride.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, all
so
good.
glad to have you in the show, man. I was telling you before, but I tell you now publicly, you are one of my longtime heroes, and I'm very thrilled to have you today, man. You're an amazing guitar player.
Oh, thank you so much, man. You're very, very kind. Very kind.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. I've been following you for a while now, and I always was amazed by your playing, but not only by that, because you can also be a badass singer, badass songwriter as well. You have your own music, and on top of that, you are out there playing with living legends of rock and roll. So I mean, what else can you ask for, right?
Yeah, I could ask for a lot more, but
Okay, tell me what.
I have a Ferrari. I'll have a man. I know. It's to be honest, I've been very privileged in my life just to be able to do what I do, play guitar, the thing that I love and grew up doing since
Uh-huh.
I was a young boy. So I'm very lucky to play with some amazing artists and that, and and then no, all I'm doing is all I do is play guitar, and hopefully people like it. That's it.
And having fun while doing so, right?
That's the main thing. Having fun with music, and if music wasn't fun, we wouldn't be doing it. It's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, everybody says that, and it must be true because I mean, there's a lot of problems as well. I mean, doing this as a living, it's not easy at all. Even for someone so talented as you, right?
Yeah, it's we do it. We certainly don't do it for the money, right? We do it for the love of music and that feeling, and there's no better feeling that you get when you play guitar or play any sort of instrument or just be musical in general. But playing on a stage or recording stuff or writing songs, it's that constant sense of achievement. I think we all look to get that from no matter what we do in our careers. Whether we always look for that sense of achievement, and
Yeah.
with music, it's a great thing to be a part of. It's the music industry has changed a lot over the years in regards to
Yeah.
what you do and how to make money and all that sort of stuff. A lot of the stuff is this. It's online, and you're talking to a camera these days, which is
Yeah. It's
it,
weird, right? It's pretty weird.
to be honest, it's not so weird anymore for me because I've got used to it. When I first started doing this, well, I've done it. I did it a little bit, before the kind of whole lockdown thing with COVID and stuff. But when I had to start doing videos and stuff for various whether it was PRS or whoever, I was spending most of my days talking to a camera on my own in the studio. I was going,
Yeah.
I'm so used to, because I'm from that old school market of so used to playing in front of a crowd or people and stuff like that. So, but it is what it is. We just gotta adapt and evolve with the times, and
Uh-huh.
it's it's different. This
Yeah, it is.
you
It
know
is different. All of the sudden now you have to not only know about gear and guitars and things like that, you also need to know about cameras right now and editing softwares and things like that, right?
you gotta be, I'm like this. Yeah, you gotta know about what camera, what lenses, what mics to use. Well, I have it for the studio anyway, so I know what mics and stuff to use, and the video editing software was like, cause I'm lucky enough that I've used Pro Tools and Logic and stuff for 20 years now, so I know it inside out. So the video editing software for me was like, yeah, that's okay. I got this. I know what to do. It's basically the same, really.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, true. I mean, for someone who's been already working with audio and things like that, it's not as difficult. Probably the learning curve is not as steep as with
No,
someone who has no idea about anything
yeah,
like that, right?
I couldn't imagine, not being able to do, or I couldn't imagine being in somebody else's shoes who'd never used any sort of recording gear or anything like that, and all of a sudden being faced with the challenge of now you have to video yourself, you have to edit it too, then you have
Yeah.
to. We're just like, yeah, it's so I'm just very fortunate that I did all this stuff before, but yeah, it's a new world, and you gotta, like I play with Don Airey. Don Airey is like, he is so old school, it's unreal. I think, it's just bizarre how old school Don is. But even
Yeah.
he, in the last 2 years, has had to change because he would never in a million years record himself playing the Hammond or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if somebody booked him to do a session, he would go hire a studio and he just turn
Uh-huh.
up his gear, play and record, and then
Yeah.
he'd send it off. But even he was like, because he has his own studio at the house, he was recording himself. It wasn't fully up to date. He was using a little 16 track, Tascam or something. The old.
Oh,
I
okay.
call those,
Wow.
I call those old school, but for him
That's
that's.
really old school, man.
But
Yeah.
it's all digital and it sounds great though. So
Yeah.
the sound quality is not any worse. But Don he's one of those guys. He plays everything in one take anyway, so there's no difference. There's no editing.
Yeah.
So we all have to adapt and evolve to this this current world and situation.
True.
And
Ye- And especially being a musician, you know, you are. I mean, I'm talking about musicians in general. You were saying you have to adapt, you know, and everyone's been adapting to these weird times or these new times. You can call it however you want, but I think it's one of the character of the musician. It's always resilient, right? You always have to be on top of your game because otherwise you're gonna fall off the train, right? And that's, for instance, someone like Don Airey. You said he's of course really old school, and he also is able to get into the new technologies and everything. So that takes a lot of character, right? I would say.
Yeah, it does. You know, you have to be a. Well, I always say to anybody, if I'm teaching somebody or just in general chat, you know, I always say the number one rule when you're being a musician is to always be not at 100% all the time. You got to be at 110% of your game the whole time, 110%, because there's always somebody standing right behind you waiting to take your job, or
Oh yeah.
waiting to do the video, or waiting to do this or do that, and they're just as good, you know. So there's always somebody there better. You know, that's my
Yes.
so my I try to be as try to do everything as best as I possibly can, and you know, hopefully I keep
Well,
being able to do it. You know, so it's
yeah.
but it takes a lot of character, and it takes a lot of you know, you just gotta get rid of the stubbornness in people, if you know what I mean. Some people are stubborn and go, I ain't doing that. I'm a musician, I play guitar. And you're like, well, okay, fine.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
when you're not allowed to gig, as we've seen for the last 2 years, what are you gonna do? You know, so it's but whatever, you know, it's like everybody can, but most people have, which is the infuriating thing. You know, there's a lot of guitarists on YouTube and I'm like, oh, there's too much competition.
Yeah, it's exhausting, man. I know, it happens to me as well. It's like, well, I mean, what am I doing? What am I even doing with a guitar? You know, there's so many good people out there. You know, it's crazy,
Yeah.
but well, as you said before, I do it because I love it. You know, and I don't care. I don't care. And it's always it's a competition against myself. You know, first of all, I have to be better than I was the day before. It's the only thing I care about. At least that's the way I see it. I wanna ask you a couple of things. Well, many things, but let me see if I have time to to ask you at least a few of them. So you were, I think we are pretty much the same age, and I'm curious as to what was the music you were listening to when you were growing up, like when you were, for instance, 14, 15 years old.
Okay, well, my life story is a bit mad. Okay. uh, so I started playing guitar when I was 10, right?
Okay.
Now, I was one of these annoying kids was very, I picked the guitar up very, very fast. So I was able, like, I'll give you an example. I started at 10. I was on television when I was 11 playing Van Halen's Eruption. That's just,
What? That's crazy, man.
I know, that's how fast. I don't know why I was just able to pick it up. Well, you know, I fell in love with the guitar, but I was able to pick it up very, very quickly. You know,
How many hours did you play when you were a kid?
well, when my dad started to make me practice whatever, yeah, to start, and you know, I was doing like 10 minutes a day, and I remember when he told me, okay, right, you must practice 20 minutes a day. I think I started crying because I didn't want to. I was a kid. I wanted to go outside and play with my mates and stuff,
Yeah.
and then that's gradually got more into it, and so you know, at that stage I wasn't practicing a lot. I was practicing maybe I would come home from school, play the guitar for a few hours every day, you know. But I was just everything. I picked stuff up very easily, and I don't know why. I believe there's two type of player. There's the player who has a natural ability, and there's the player who doesn't have a natural ability. They both can get to the same level, just one gets there a lot quicker. I would believe that was that natural ability. It must be because you know,
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I can tell because everything that you play, everything that's not only looks effortless, it sounds effortless, which is even more stunning for me. You know, it sounds so natural, man. It's like to me, when I hear you play, I hear that you're not even trying hard. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you didn't work hard to get to that level of playing, but to me, sounds so natural, so fluid. You know what I mean? And I think it's because of that, right? Because you were a natural ever since you were a little kid, right?
Yeah, I think so. You know, and you're not the first person to say that I make it look too very easy, and I'm going, really? It's bloody hard. But I understand that. I get it totally. But yeah, it's just I'm just lucky. I think that I'm able to do this. But in regards to music and what I was listening to back then, I grew up in the '80s, so it's all the usual cats like Van Halen and Satriani, Vi, Paul Gilbert, and then kind of all the '80s kind of rock, like their hair metal as they call them, like Motley Crue and all that stuff. I love all that stuff, So that was kind of like my training ground. But that and Gary Moore was my first gig that I ever went to.
Oh wow, amazing, right?
Yeah, I remember it. I think I was 10. I think it's when I just started playing guitar. I'm nearly sure it was. It was either, maybe it was the year after. I don't know, but I remember standing there at the gig, and there's a place in Belfast called the King's Hall, which is about, I don't know, 6,000-7,000 people, pretty big venue, and I think it was the After the War tour, so it was when Gary was doing the hard rock stuff. And I remember standing there, this 10 or 11-year-old kid, just standing there watching this, massive stage, Gary running around, the band, smoke flying everywhere and everything. I just went, I want to do that.
Of course.
So that's what gave me a lot of, inspiration just to keep practicing and playing, because that's once you see that, when you start playing guitar, you see somebody like that, like your hero, you're an idol. You go, I want to be that. I want to do that. I don't want to be a plumber or fix cars. I want to do that. So, but yeah, lots of different things. It was, when I was growing up, it was mostly the hard rock stuff that I listened to. Because that's what was popular back then, And then over the years, as I got older, I kind of I started listening to more Hendrix kind of stuff, and stuff that's a bit lighter, like even the Gary Moore stuff. He went into the blues scene, that kind of thing, in the '90s. Then guys like Robin Ford, Larry Carlton, Steely Dan, all of the intelligent music.
Yeah, all of the music that your guitar teacher would tell you to listen to, right? At least in my case, it was like that. It was like that. I would come to guitar lessons like talking about Guns N' Roses and things like that, and my guitar teacher was like, "Yeah, that's okay, that's pretty cool, but you have to listen to Larry Carlton."
Yeah,
like, okay.
Yeah, it's true. They all want you to play stuff like.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff, and I'm like, no, I just want to play.
That's awesome.
So yeah, but as I look back now, music is when you go through the ages of obviously being a teenager and through my 20s, through my 30s, we all see music differently. Like I would say, when I was a teenager, I was very narrow-minded. I want to listen to rock stuff.
Yeah, well, but everybody is narrow-minded, right? In those years, I think.
Yeah, we all were. That's it. It's only when you grow up, basically, and you start to listen to this stuff, and you go, "Ooh, that's really cool. Actually, I could take from that." Because I'm the sort of person, I'll listen to anything today, like whatever. If it's country and western, I'll listen to it. If it's jazz, I listen to a lot of classical stuff. I listen to a lot of theme music from television or whatever, or Steely Dan. Anything I listen to it, as long as it's good. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Good music is good music,
Of course, yeah. There's only two type of music, good and bad music, and as long as it's the first one, it's cool. Well, I hear also. I mean, you've been saying that you grew up listening hard rock, but I hear a lot of very tasteful blues in your playing as well. You're a blues based guitar player. I mean, a blues based rock player. I would define you that way. I don't know. Do you like it? Have you ever played straight ahead blues music at all?
I do sometimes live as a joke because I did get categorized as being not so much anymore, but I used to get categorized as being a blues player.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't listen to blues. No, I don't play that. I don't do that at all. I don't play a Strat. I play like one of these, and so
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. Like because I listen to like Clapton and Hendrix and Paul Kossoff is another guy I love listening to as well. And they're kind of primarily blues, and I suppose I guess you could say when I was 13 I was a massive fan of Joe Satriani. And Joe Satriani is basically he comes from a blues background. You take away all the shred stuff that he does, which is unbelievable, and
Oh yeah.
he's just a standard, great blues player. So, uh, yeah, that always comes through. And if you look at rock or hard rock or whatever type of rock that there is, it all
Uh-huh.
comes to blues anyway. That's where it stems. It stems right back to that period, and So I don't mind. People always like to put like a tag on me, or like years ago I used to be classed as a metal player. You
Oh
know,
wow.
yeah, when I was 17 and 18, I used to say I was a heavy metal player, and it was like I can play heavy metal. I don't like being called it. I don't do it a lot, but
Yeah.
but that's what happens when you play in certain bands that do hard rock metal. They go
Yeah.
heavy metal player. But
Of course.
as I said, I like all styles of music, so I try to play it all. Because you can take from everything, take from every style of music, and make it part of your own thing. And that's what I've done over the years. I've listened to all different styles, whether it's blues, jazz, country, funk, whatever, and I've just tried to mix it all together to become me. So I don't know what's happening now. What's going on?
Well, anyway, I think it's pretty interesting that you grew up listening to all that music, but then what you've been doing as a I would say session musician or working musician is not very far from that thing, right? Because you ended up playing with Ian Gillan, which is of course he was the lead singer for Deep Purple, and also Don Airey, which I think he started playing with them when John Law retired, right? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you tell me that story? How did you end up playing with such monsters?
Well, in short, I'm just going to point out these guys, PRS.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I've been a long-term endorsee for PRS since I was I don't know 15 or something. So I mean, you're going on nearly 26 years now, 26, 27 years. I've used
Wow.
yeah, because I met Paul at a trade show in London. Yeah, I was about 15 or something. I can't remember, but anyway, and he made me my first guitar then. But so I've been doing stuff with them, and it just turns out the guy that runs PRS Europe is a guy called Gavin, and Gavin's with myself and PRS we're like family. It's all we know
You're
each other.
part of the family, of course. Yes, yes.
That's it. We
Uh,
know each other too well. So Gavin, the head of the PRS Europe, it just turns out he is actually Don Airey's son's godfather. So
oh, okay.
he knew Don Airey very well, and it was just because how it all came about was basically, I was touring around doing my own stuff and, playing lots of venues and stuff in Europe and UK, which was going very well. And Don Airey runs this little charity festival in his village.
Uh-huh.
I say little festival. It's about 1,500 people. I mean, in this tent, and it's round. It can't.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
so he does this, and he has many artists that he plays with. The guys from Thunder would come along and play, and he would have various other people, like I think Uli Jon Roth did it one year, and Bernie Marsden comes along, just all friends of Don Airey, come along. But
Wow.
he was looking for somebody to open the gig with, and he was talking to Gavin, just by luck one day, and he mentioned that, and Gavin went, I have the perfect person. So, and Don is very, if you don't know Don, he's the most loveliest man in the world, right?
Okay.
But if he doesn't know you, he's still a bit, he'll keep you at distance, and he didn't really know me, and I was going, blah, 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 and he brought me into his house, and really just, so I did the gig, and he loved it, and he wanted me to do it the next year as well, and then I think I said to him, over a beer or something, I said, if you ever need me to do any recording, just let me know, and like, right, okay, 5 months time in the studio, such. I was like, okay, that was easy, so, and yeah, really from that, to getting the doing the Ian Gillan stuff, that was just really through Don Airey playing with Don live, that Gillan thing was put together. Ian was asked to do an orchestra tour, so and he was talking to Don about it, and he just said to Don, "You have a band, don't you?" Don was like, "Yeah, do you want to do it?" He was like, "Yeah, okay." So that was it, and then I got the call from Don asking me did I want to do it, and I was like,
I don't know.
But it's just a weird thing how things happen in music, in the music industry. It's just by, sometimes by pure chance. You can spend your whole life working to trying to get somewhere, and you finally get where you want to be, but it may be not by the path you tried to get it. It'd be some weird angle that's, because your mother knew such and such.
Yeah.
Something,
Well, usually it happens that way, rather than the other way around.
It is like and how I got to use these guitars, PRS guitars, was I was doing stuff when I was a kid for Marshall amps, and I was doing trade shows, and they brought me over to London, and I was doing some stuff, and that's how I met Paul Reed Smith.
Okay.
And he decided to build me a guitar because my old one was so bad. He was looking at it going, "You got I think it was like a custom Strat or something like that got built here by some local guy. It wasn't a great guitar. Anyway, but I was whatever 15. I thought it was amazing. But he looked at it and went, he says, "I gotta make you a guitar."
Nice.
A year later, that's how I got my guitar. And I've just been doing things ever since for them and stuff. So, but yeah, you just never know, like I know friends of mine who've got massive record deals by playing in a club to 2 people.
Yeah.
One of those 2 people was a head of a record company. You're like, so you just never know. You just gotta do everything and anything you can, and I never say no to anything these days.
That's why you always have to be professional, no matter what, no matter who you have in front of the audience. You always have to deliver your best, right? That's what you were saying before. You always have to be professional, because you never know what that gig is gonna take you to, right? It's incredible. I mean, it's something that probably outside this world, this music world, people don't quite understand, but we know very well, because in my life, I've had moments like that, pretty weird moments in which I had gigs in the weirdest way possible, So I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a strange world, the music industry, And I always remember, a friend of mine, you probably heard of Vivian Campbell, plays for Def Leppard.
Oh, of course, yeah,
and
monster player.
Yeah, Viv told me once, he says, the business is not done on stage, the business is done in the bar afterwards.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's 100% right, because you can stand up on stage and play brilliantly, but you got to be able to, network and talk to people. Obviously, you got to do a great job on stage.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's out of the question, right?
Yeah, no, that's a no-brainer. It's just basically, I go on stage every night and I try to give my 110%, every night. I try to, because you got to do it. I can't go on stage one night and just go, oh, I couldn't be bothered. I'll just play, really badly or a tune. And especially today, in today's market, because everybody is sitting like this.
Yeah, yeah. So there's gonna be proof, right? No matter what to do.
There's proof every day. If I make a mistake on a gig, I go, "Oh crap, that's going to be on YouTube next day," right?
Yeah,
it is,
right.
And I just put whatever. It is what it is.
So nowadays, it's even more difficult, right? Because no matter, I mean, how bad the mistake is, people are gonna notice. People are gonna know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. They are gonna know. Some people are gonna know. But you know what the scary thing is? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people.
Yeah, true.
They're going, great performance, great gig. I remember doing this one show, all right, and I think it was the Boz Pop Festival in the Netherlands, years ago, and I remember. I started the song, right? And because it starts with the guitar, and then the drummer for some reason had some other song completely in his head, which he was, and he started that. So we started off both playing two different songs, two different tempos, two different feels. I was going, what? And he's looking at me going, what you did? I'm like, and the bass player, he's just standing there going, you know what to do. He just starts playing, starts going, or whatever, panic mode.
Yeah.
And so it was a train wreck, and I don't know how we got out of it, but after the show, amazing, brilliant. I'm going, really? Okay, whatever. But, there's something that's, it's that's just the way it is sometimes. But yeah.
Well, that's another thing. Music is human, and sometimes, well, those mistakes happen. And I mean, if it was completely, if music were completely flawless, we wouldn't like it that much. I'd say, because these classic rock records that we all love, they even have mistakes and things like that, and that's part of the charm, I would say.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I believe, my theory on music, the whole thing is, I just believe music is one big mistake, right? Because, and like, you do not sit down with the guitar and go, I'm going to write this number one hit, and it goes like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. And I'm sure Paul Kossoff and Paul Rogers didn't sit down and go, we're going to write this song, and it's going to be called All Right Now, and it goes like this. Or Slash is going, I'm going to write,
Yeah.
It was an accident. They stumbled upon it. They're playing around the guitar, noodling, and they just stumbled upon a riff or an idea, So that's why I believe music is a big mistake. So mistakes are fine in my eyes. Now, that's just my excuse for making mistakes.
That's great. Well, this guy, Scott Henderson, I'm pretty sure you know him, right?
Yeah.
I heard him say once that he was like, well, I make mistakes for a living, he said once. And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I will love to make those mistakes, the same way he does it.
Yeah, it is true. I just believe, because when sometimes I write, sometimes the mistakes are the best ideas. You just, and if you're in a room playing with a bunch of guys, and you're just trying stuff and you're trying different ideas, and sometimes you make a mistake and you go, oh crap, and you go, oh, hold on, that's actually quite good. What was that again?
Yeah,
it happens all the time, and that's basically what being a session musician is throwing it all out there, throwing it on the table. Go, let me just try everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to sound like. It could sound hideous. It could, may get used, may not get used, but you got to try. I think today, because with the, we have Pro Tools and Logic and all that stuff. Everything is too perfect. I find music, it's recorded, it's too perfect. But that's just a creation of people are used to hearing stuff which is just perfect. Like I listen to old songs, and without even knowing, I listen to old songs and I hear stories about them, and they go, they say, oh, there's several mistakes in those songs if you listen to this point, and then I go back and listen to it and go, oh yeah, there's a little bit. Like when I had to learn some of the rainbow stuff for Don Airey.
Okay.
I can't remember what the song was, but there's this line, and with the old rainbow stuff and Deep Purple stuff, the way they were mixed, it was brilliant because the Hammond was all the way to the left, guitar all the way to the right, or vice versa. I don't know. So I was able to just separate the guitar part from the Hammond part.
Okay.
So I would learn some of Richie's guitar parts, and there was one track in particular. It must have been a mistake, but it didn't sound wrong to me. It sounded just really cool. And I go to play it with Don Airey, and Don Airey's looking at me going, "That's wrong." I'm like, "It's not." And he goes, "It is." I'm like, "It's not. It is no." So, and I said, "Well, that's what Richie plays," and he says, "Oh, he's probably made a mistake."
That's great.
You don't really notice because it just gives everything a little bit of character,
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It was one note that was like in a very fast. Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing I said with Scott Henderson. I mean, I would love to make the same mistakes that Richie Blackmore would play. It's. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The guy was. I mean, he's amazing. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, Richie's is one of the all-time great guitarists that's ever lived. So it's just
one of the ones who really invented the genre, right? The hard rock music. He was one of the that Strat into the Marshall, right? And those licks and that sound. I mean, I really love the sound he has, And actually, I think I have this guitar. Let me show you. Let me see if I can take it without. Okay, I have this guitar because of him,
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is the. I mean, half because of him, the other half because of Jimi Hendrix, I would say, because of the big headstock and everything. But it's a.
Well, the thing is, Richie was you look at him, he's playing a Strat for a start, which was not really rock and roll back then.
Yeah.
But here's him playing a Strat into a Marshall, and that's all he really used that I know of, in regards to effects and pedals. But the sounds that guy got out of that guitar, just it never got boring, it never got tedious. He was just, he was just a genius. Still is. He's still.
Yeah.
I keep saying he is. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. But well, let me ask you about that guitar that you're holding, because it seems to me like that's your number one, right?
Yeah, this was it's like a signature guitar. It's made for me, my own spec. They made this exactly to what I wanted. I am not extremely fussy with guitars. For years before I got this, I always played a PRS 408, which a 408 is basically these style of pickups.
Okay.
They look a bit different. This one's a little bit smaller, and this one's a little bit wider. In shape.
I see. Yeah.
And I always loved that for some reason. Sorry, the lights in here make it look a bit crap, but
it's all right. No, but we can see it all right. Yeah.
It's nothing really too out of the ordinary. I always wanted that kind of, the single cut kind of shape, and people ask me about the F hole on it, and I say it's basically purely cosmetic. That's all.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So it's not semi-hollow.
It is hollow. It's about there. It is hollow. So,
okay.
But I didn't really want that hollow sound. I just like to look at it. So I'm just like. But to be honest, I have another one of these, but it's not got an F hole in it, and it's a double cutaway. It's exactly the same color, same pickup, same everything, and I can't really tell much difference in the sound, to be honest. So it's just custom made for me. Paul, lucky enough, Paul Reed Smith knows me quite well and what I like in guitars. So, he kind of knew what I wanted in spec wise and stuff. So but I spec'd it out anyway, and so it's a very versatile guitar. I wanted something that I could bring to any gig or even just one gig and get multiple sounds out of it. I'm not one of these guys for changing guitars every song because it sounds slightly different for this stuff.
Yes.
Because come on, when you think about it, you're playing a live gig. It's like you're playing at loud volumes. Nobody's going to notice the difference between this and my other one. It's like,
yeah,
So, but it's got a standard 3-way selector on it. And it has 2 little switches right here, which basically switch between, one is for this pickup and one is for the other, for the neck pickup. And basically it splits it into single coils.
Single coils, I understand. Okay. Do you have the option of playing with the outer ones or the inner ones or something like that? Or just, no?
Okay, I have no idea. I didn't ask. It's too much information for me. I like things simple. I was like, no, I don't want to know what pickup. It's just...
Okay.
I like the option of having so if I wanted this one to be the more kind of a rock sound and full humbucker sound, I could keep that on the humbucker, but split this one then if I wanted it to be a neck pickup, which is very handy, so because you want that,
Nice.
But I can always split that.
Nice. You can even play funky stuff with that, right? Nice.
Yeah, you get all that stuff. It's a bit, the amp's a bit, dirty for the funkier stuff. So, you get multiple sounds out of it. That's what I love about this guitar. It's very versatile. If you ever see me live, I generally play this guitar, and that's it.
Okay. Okay, and you put the tremolo, the Vegatrem on it, right? How are you liking it?
I love the Vegatrem. It's I've been after a trem like this for a long time, and I've never really been able to find one. I like the Floyd Roses and stuff, but Floyd Roses are like, they're fucking this size.
Yeah, it's maybe too much, right? You would have to ruin that guitar forever.
Yeah, and you need the lock and nut, and that's just no. Tuning those things are a nightmare. I was like, no, I've got 3 of them, and if I break a string, it's like I'll just hang it back on the wall.
Yeah.
So I remember trying. I was doing a few clinics for Boss, and the guy who I do a lot of the traveling with is he's like me. We're both massive Steve Lukather fanatics, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and he had one of Steve Lukather's, the Music Man looks, and I tried the trem on it. I was like, oh, this thing is unbelievable. It's just like amazing, the trem. And I actually tried to buy one off Music Man. They said yes, they would sell me one with a guitar attached. I was like, I don't want the guitar. I just want the tremolo.
Just want the tremolo.
Yeah. And then, you contacted me. Was it, or I can't remember what happened, but anyway.
Yes, I contacted you. Yes. Yeah.
And to be honest, I had I'd heard of Vegatrem before, but sometimes things get, new brands or new companies get lost in the massive stuff that's out there, or, you see. So I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh yeah, it's just another trem company. Then you contacted me. I was like, sure, I'll give it a go. Yeah. And, I put it on. I was like, holy shit. Like, this thing, this is even better than the Music Man one. I was like, this thing is on. It's like, as I said to you before, it's like, it's not even there. It's just like, it's so smooth. It's like butter. It's just like,
yeah.
And it's so light. And, I don't like trams where you feel it clinking up and down, and
Yeah.
because as I said, I grew up in the 80s, so I like all that stuff, having the options of being able to do all the kind of all that kind of bouncy.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's me. I love all that kind of stuff, and and I use the tram a lot when I play these days. So it's been great for me. I'd be able to get to do everything I would do on say an Ibanez or something like that with the Floyd Rose. I could do it.
Yeah.
Again, it's made this guitar even more versatile for me. So you can do the whole kind of. To the,
Nice.
And it doesn't budge. It's weird. When I was putting it on, I was looking at it going, I'm going to break that thing. I'm going to, it's like, because I'm very hard with the guitar, and I immediately started playing with it, and put it through the breakable test, and nope, it's still working.
It's still there, right?
Nice. So I love these things. I think they're incredible, and the fact that it can just slot into your normal guitars.
That's the best thing, because that way you don't have to butcher your guitar or anything like that. That's amazing. I think that's the best advantage, because you can keep your beloved guitar, completely immaculate. So people are asking us in the chat. It's like, Simon, speaking of PRS, what's your impression of the feel difference of the Vegatrem versus stack? The stack system isn't one most people would think needs an upgrade. So what do you think about it?
They are two different things, two different animals. Basically, the PRS Trem it's
pretty cool. I like it as well. It's I told you before, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had the Generation 3 Trem, which on this before, which had lock and saddles and stuff on it. It's a great trem. It's very, if you just use it for standard kind of vibrato stuff and don't do anything, you don't want to do anything too radical with it. It's perfect. It's brilliant. This is just completely different. This gives you can do the very subtle stuff, but you can also do, as I said, the really wild stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing is about the PRS Trem, it's I'm going to say the word stiff.
Stiff, yeah.
Yeah, compared to this, and anything is stiff compared to this thing, so.
Yeah.
So this is so light, and, you barely touch it and it moves, and which is really cool. The PRS one, if I was to say in regards tone or sound, I would say the PRS one probably has a teeny little bit more sustain, but not much.
Okay.
Just simply because it has brass saddles and stuff on it, and it's got 6 screws screwed into the bottom. You're gonna obviously. I don't mind a little bit of tiny bit of sacrifice.
Compromising a little bit of. Because that guitar has tone for days, man, especially in your hands.
But this thing is it's got a very high output, so it's very, I can lose a bit of sustain. That's no problem. It's fine. But some people actually prefer the sound of the kind of Floyd Rose sound. They have a certain sound to them. I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that it bounces a bit more than something that's very sturdy and like that. Because I know guys that actually prefer the tone of an Ibanez. Not necessarily the pickups or whatever, just the sound of the actual guitar with the trem on it. Floyd Rose, because it's floating or something. I don't know. It's like, why do people prefer the sound of a Strat over say a PRS or whatever, a Sur or whatever? It's like it's basically made like a Strat. Strat difference is that all the pickups are mounted to a piece of plastic. That makes a difference. I don't know. So
I think sometimes it's just a matter of being a little snob sometimes, and that's all, because if you can make a guitar sound properly, as long as it plays well and you're comfortable with it, at the end of the day, it's the only thing that's important, being comfortable with it, because as you said before, the difference in terms of tone, they're there, of course, but at certain levels, at certain qualities. Once you get into a certain level of build quality and sound quality, it's not that different, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the old thing of okay, here's 10 Tube Screamer pedals. Which one's the best? You're like, they all look different. Maybe this one has a little bit more treble, this one has a bit more bass. So the thing is, it's if something doesn't have a drastic difference, then it's fine. If it's a little bit, it's no big deal. But you always got to think of the positive. I think of the positive. I think, okay, but look, I can do so much more with this bloody thing than I could with the PRS one. It's just made my life happier.
Yeah.
So and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the sound of this. It's still plenty of sustain, but it's just a natural thing. You're going to get that with if you're using whether 2 or 4 screws, whatever, rather than 6 and whatever. It's all stuff I don't really care about most. At the end of the day, this is just a tool.
That's right. This is the important thing. That's for sure.
It's how you use this thing, and it's how you use these things. So
yeah. Well, let's hear a little bit of your music, man, because I have a song here, a YouTube video. Let me play that YouTube video, and then we're gonna talk about this song. So this is we are here with Simon McBride at Vegatrem's Guitar Chat, and this song is called "Show Me How to Love." Let me share this with you guys. Okay, here it is.
Lie down with me, 'cause we need to talk. Please don't turn me into a wall that you have. I cannot give you all the answers before I get down and use all my chances again. Show me how to love. Break me, pick the pieces up. Help me, hold me up, so save me.
That was awesome. That was great. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Show
man.
Me How to Love, Simon McBride. That was incredible. So you released this song in 2019, is that correct?
I think so. Yeah. What year is
Okay.
it? Yeah. It was, yeah, 2019. That's correct. Yeah, it was like then. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Did you guys record this live? I mean, playing the three of you together?
Uh, no.
No. Okay.
The way that's part of my new album, which will be out in 2022. Yeah, yeah, start of next year. So that's
Okay.
the song that's going to be on that. It was my album was supposed to be out last year, but because of COVID, everything just got shelved. So
Yeah.
no, that was recorded. Most of the guitars were done in here. Then yeah, and the vocals too were all done here. Drums were done in London by a guy, on video and stuff. Bass was done in London. I did it, the bass player and myself. We kind of recorded most of it together
Okay.
because he had a big, studio in London, and I have my place. And so we just did it mostly over Dropbox. Then there's lots of backup vocals where we did stuff. We sent out to friends of ours who are singers and stuff. For backup BDs and stuff. Like we had Ian Hornell who sings with Yes at the minute, and then Mitchell Ems. He's a rock singer basically from London. Incredible. Anyway, he sang backup vocals on it too, and various other things. But everything was done, between either here or
Well, nowadays it's the most common way of making records, right? Through Dropbox, right?
Yeah,
Transfers and things like that, right?
Yeah, it's the way forward to do stuff, because obviously, a lot of the studios aren't around anymore because there was no real money for it because everybody was starting to record at home and they had personal recording systems at home, so there wasn't a need to go to a big studio, So, but there still is some big studios around, but it's a lot of money, and there's not a lot of money in record sales these days. So a lot of people, can't, unless you have a big record company behind you, you can pay for it. So you gotta do things, over Dropbox.
Well, let me tell you, man. Anyway, it sounds killer. It sounds everything. Not only the guitars, of course, because I would expect Simon McBride's song. The guitars are gonna sound killer no matter what. But not only that, the voice, the vocals, the drums, the bass, everything sounds stunning, man. I mean, especially I really love how you put the vocals in the choruses. It sounds so full, so. Yeah. It's incredible. It reminds me a little bit of Toto. I don't know if I'm far away from your, but it reminds me that way of doing the vocals. It reminds me a little bit of that, no?
Yeah, I know you're right. It's the thing is with that song. It's kind of got a nice kind of guitar hook line in there, but I wanted the song to be catchy and be kind of commercially chorus type of sound, and I wanted to capture that element of a big chorus, So there's lots of vocalists in there, lots of vocal tracks singing the chorus. You say Toto, yes, that's always in the back of my mind when I do stuff. Toto and things like bands like Yes. With Trevor Rabin, that the version of Yes, where there's lots of big vocal harmonies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's so we're all just products of our influences. So all that kind of stuff that I listen to is going to come out, whether it's vocally or whatever. But I was very fortunate that I had a guy mix my album. It was a guy called Ike Fries, who is he's a German guy, and he mixes a lot of stuff. He's very popular. He mixes a lot of the Deep Purple live albums these days, and he's remastered, I don't know, Alice Cooper and various other things, So, but he's done that, and so it sounds incredible. I don't know what he does to the things. He just makes everything sound huge. Like,
yeah.
how do you do that? So
It does sound amazingly great, man. I mean, it's incredible. It's pretty nice. I really love it. I wanted to ask you also because I'm very curious, and I'm sorry about the, because right now I'm not being an interviewer. I'm being a fan here. Okay.
That's all right, man. That's all right. It's cool.
Because I'm enjoying this so much. I'm sorry about it, but I wanted to ask you. So how do you write your guitar solos? Do they come from improvisations, or do you go note by note, thinking very well about the next phrase or the next note or the next? How do you do that? Sorry.
Okay. Well, I have this thing about guitar solos where I don't believe anything is improvised. Okay. I'm bear with me. I'm a bit weird this way. Okay.
Okay.
I believe all solos are constructed, right?
Okay.
Because if you think about it this way, if you get on stage, like on a jam night or something, right? And you get up on stage and you get up and you improvise, and you're having a bit of crack. I always say to people, you're not really improvising.
No, because you're playing phrases that you've played at home, right?
Exactly. You played them a million times before. You're just, just maybe on a 12-bar blues. You played them that, right? So I always say, so my theory is, I could spend the next 3 hours improvising, guessing where I'm going with the chord structure.
Got it.
And get to probably the same product, same end. Or I can cut that 3 hours out and go straight for what's the chords? What am I playing over, right? And I don't know. I've done this in the last 10 years. Before this, I was kind of old school, just played, and that was it, And sometimes I still do that. I just give me the song and I'll just play over it. That's it. Sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes it's great. But now, for anything on my albums, I purposely sit down and try to focus on what chords I'm playing over. So if you listen to the solo on that, it's basically it follows the chords. It follows notes within the chords. And you could spend 2-3 hours improvising and just to try and find those notes. Whereas all the time I go back to the source. Those are the notes you want to hit. So that's why I do it, and I have different structures or different theories for my solo. So I would just basically have, most of the time I follow what I call the Gary Moore structure, which is start here, finish there.
That's right. Well, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, and it works for me. Like, so, sometimes you just got to get here and get there and then bring it down into something or whatever. But and that is the same in regards to, volume and dynamics of the song, but also in regards to technical stuff that you throw in. Like, I didn't throw anything technical into that until the very end of the solo. That was it, because
that beautiful pentatonic run that you played there, man, that's amazing. That sounds killer, man.
Yeah, and it's dead simple. It's just that
that's right.
Kind of not a scale, but it serves a purpose. It serves it does a job. It's a little bit of flash, a little bit of excitement, a little burst of stuff, and so, and the thing is with guitar solos, I treat the guitar solo it's like it's another song. It's part of it.
Yeah,
it's like a song within
it's a song within the song, right?
Yeah, so it's just as important. It has to capture people's attention and not just because I know guitar players do solos and they go in and just shred and do whatever, and it's amazing. Yeah. It's great. It doesn't really fit the song, So I tried, and I don't get me wrong, I have done that in the past. I've went out and played stuff that I want to play just because I wanted to show off, but it didn't work, and I've had to change it, but I've learned as I've got older, and now everything I do, I think about the song, I think about the chord structure. That's the first thing I ask: what chords am I playing over? I want to know which exact chords I'm playing over at that time, because that basically gives you your starting point or your points of reference straight away. If you're going to a minor chord, you can play an A, you can play a C, which is minor third, or an E, the fifth, or whatever, or hint at the seventh and the ninth, or whatever. You can do all this kind of crazy stuff. But it's marking yourself a roadmap, and then go, here's my note here for this chord, note for this chord. How do I get between them? Like the solo on that one is basically. There's nothing in it. you know.
Yeah, but there's a melody there. You're saying something. That's the good thing about it. You're saying something. There's a story developing, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. But it's all to do with your little articulations and stuff that you throw in there. You know, you hit a note more than once or twice. That's still like somebody speaking. You know, and you got things like. You know, it's a conversation, you know, and it's not really anything too complicated at the minute. And then it goes to that kind of stuff. So it's all very simple.
But you landed on a major second over there, right? It was because the root note, the root chord was a minor chord, and you played the second. Right in that lick, I don't know if maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I think it sounded like a second over there. It's beautiful, by the way.
Of the which one's that? Of the
let me see.
There, yeah. It's the 9. It's the 9 of the chord, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's it's the major second, right? Yeah. That's right. There you go. It's beautiful. That's pretty cool. It's pretty tasty, man. I really loved it. Not only in that song, because you have many others that I've heard, and it's always an amazing job. So now that we are talking about notes and things like that, let's talk about your Rockstar Club, right? Because right now you're running what is that? An online school, something like that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, I started this thing called the Rockstar Club, which is basically online kind of virtual lessons. It's not one-to-one, you know, because I discovered, you know, because I do teach people from all around the world, you know, over Skype or Zoom or whatnot. Sometimes it's very difficult for people to, you know, make an appointment, you know, because they maybe live in Australia and they're like, you know, 18 hours or something, whatever. You know, and things happen and prop up, they can't make it and stuff. So I just started this whole thing where, you know, I record like 20-minute sessions, 15-20-minute sessions, you know, a week of, you know, on a particular subject. It may be, you know, like some sort of core technique like bends or vibrato or it may be on modes or something like that. And I record it and I talk about my personal experience, because I have my own way of teaching stuff and my own way of thinking of theory. Which I've, you know, learned over the years and taught to people, and I see it gets through to people, and it makes people who are generally confused about modes or whatever techniques and stuff. My theory seems to help them a lot better because it's simpler. You know, there's a lot of misinformation online about theories and stuff like that, and can make it. Sometimes people make it sound more complicated than what it actually is. You know, but anyway, that's basically what it is. So I have that, and then so that's like a 1 week thing. Every week I put on a different subject, and I take requests, whatever anybody wants to learn about. Say somebody says, "Hey man, can you show me all about arpeggios?" I go, "Okay, I'll do a week on arpeggios or whatever." You do that, and then I have various other things in that where there's 2 packages. I have like the VIP, which is just basically the lesson for the week. You get that. You pay a monthly subscription and you get whatever, 4 a month. Then I also have the AAA one, which is basically the same thing as the lesson, but I do this thing called Lick of the Week on social media every week.
I see those.
So I do those, and I do them fully slow, and I go through them all online. You know, pre-recorded videos. You know, I talk about what I'm thinking and how I come up with it. You know, I'm playing super slow, and I give a transcription. I also do a little backing track for people if they want to play it over. You know, it's just like a 3-minute thing, just they can play it.
Nice.
And I usually demonstrate how they do it first. You know, over the track. You know, and then, just various other things. You know, people can get access to, like, you know, future album releases early if they want. Like, for example, if my new album's out in January, maybe. They maybe get access to it earlier than that.
Nice.
And then also, if people wanting the shows, like certain sound checks and stuff, they can request to be a part of that too. You know, so just
that's so cool.
All a matter of things. You know, just you know, it's I appreciate you know, all the fans and all the people who, you know, who support me. So it's just like even though people are paying for a subscription, like it's nothing. It's like £25 a month, which is nothing these days, you know. So it's, you know, even the things of like, you know, letting people go to sound checks and whatever. That it's just my little way of saying thank you. Come on in, you know. It's you know, I'm not one of those egotistical people who's like, no, not allowed to, you know. You know, so it's something I wanted to do for a while. You know, obviously with COVID hitting last year, I was like, well, this is the perfect time to try and get it in order and try and get it sorted and get it done. So yeah. So you know, but it's good. It's good for those people who want to learn stuff in their own time. You know, so if somebody wants to learn about modes, but they want to do it at 2 a.m. in the morning, they can do it. I ain't sitting up at 2 a.m. teaching nobody. They can do it in the pants and at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's perfectly fine, you know. So
that's pretty cool, man. Well, we have all your information in the description of this video. So if all our friends that are watching us, if you guys want to check out the Rockstar Club, Simon McBride's, you can go there. You know, it's in the description of this video, as well as all the social media outlets from Simon, and the YouTube and the website and everything. Also, another question that I have for you. Please tell me, when are you coming to play in Spain, man? I really need you playing here, man.
I don't know.
Hopefully we can make it happen, right? Maybe next year. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. The problem at the minute is there is such a backlog of artists waiting to play, you know, through cancelled shows and tours from either this year or last year, you know.
Yeah.
And they're all being pushed forward. So it's there's only so many venues, and everybody wants to play them, you know. They're waiting to play. So I honestly have no idea. It could be next. It could be sooner rather than later. I don't really know. I don't know.
I really wish it's sooner rather than later. That's for sure. Well, let me say the code, the discount code for this week. The code is Simon2, all lower caps. Simon, SIMON, and the number 2. So you guys can go and get your Vegatrem for a pretty cool discount. I think it's very nice. So just to finish, let me read the comments in case someone is asking a question. These guitar chats are amazing. It's a great gift for us. Thanks, Vegatrem. Thank you, Carlos. You can do dive bombs with the Vegatrem. Yeah, you can. Well, I think so, right? Yes. I think you can do dive bombs for sure. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. There you go. No one better than Simon to do those dive bombs, of course. Well, someone was no entiendo. Okay, well, there's no. This is Vegatrem in English. Next week we're gonna do it in Spanish. La semana que viene lo haremos en español, así que lo podrás entender todo sin ningún problema. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you very much, Simon. I would be here, man, all night long, but I'm pretty sure you have a life, you have a family, you know. I don't wanna steal more of your time. I hope you had a good time here today.
Yeah, no, it was fun, man. It's always I always enjoy doing these things. It's fun, you know, just to talk music and, you know, get away from the kids for an hour.
That's great. Okay, don't tell that your wife. Don't tell your wife.
Oh, she knows. She's jealous.
I hope she's not watching.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, well, it's been a pleasure again. I wish you the best, man. You're a badass player, and we're so lucky to have you, you know, among the Vegatrem family. And well, hopefully we're gonna see each other soon. Are you going to NAMM show next year? You don't know yet?
Oh no, I don't know yet. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been to NAMM in years, so I don't really know whether it happens this year or not. I don't know. So, you know, everything is still a little bit.
I know. Yes. Bro, I mean, we are looking forward to going there, you know, this next year. But you're right. Everything's still on the air. But if it happens, and if you are there, just know that you have a seat at the Vegatrem booth whenever you want. It's
I'll be if I'm there, I'll be straight there.
I think I see it right. I did it correctly. I'm sorry because I made a mistake once. With those two words, and I don't want to do it again.
No, it's okay. I didn't hear it. I didn't pick up anything, so it's okay.
Okay, cool. Cool. Sorry, man. I'm laughing too much. It's all right. Okay. Well, thank you very much again, Simon. Thank you so much, and to everyone watching, we're gonna see each other next Thursday with a new guest. Remember, be safe, be happy, play a lot your guitar, and see you next week. Thank you, Simon. See you.
Cheers. See you later. Bye-bye.
Cheers.